Hey, folks, welcome into the Browns Daily Blitz. I'm Tito, Jeff Thitoff. Thanks so much for tuning in. Follow me on Twitter @ThitHappens. We'll do the Blitz here a little bit more just about what Todd Monken said about Deshaun Watson and the quarterback situation in Cleveland. I have long since believed it's a mistake to play Deshaun Watson or start Deshaun Watson this year. And I have a variety of reasons why. I think it's a no-win situation for the Browns. This is Watson's last year of his contract, his massive dead contract. This is the last year of it. If he goes out there and plays really well, he's a free agent. I don't think the Browns should want him back. I don't care how good he is. Let somebody else pay for Deshaun Watson. If he plays poorly, well, you're probably going to not know if you have a number one quarterback going to next year, the following year there, for your draft. Like, let's just say he goes 8-9. Say he goes to Steelersville, and they go 8-9 or 9-8, miss playoffs, or 7-10, somewhere in there. You're going to be outside of where the top quarterback's going to go, and you're going to have a season where you don't learn much more about Shedeur Sanders. So it just feels like it's going to, no matter how it ends up, I don't see how the Steelers, or the Browns, the only way the Browns can have a win in this situation is if they make a deep playoff run. But even then, do you really want to re-sign Watson? If you're the Browns, if you're a Browns fan, which you are because you're here, I have your attention, AIDA. If you are, a Browns fan, would they want to sign Deshaun Watson to another long-term deal? To pay him starting quarterback money when almost his entire time on this contract, he hasn't been a starting quarterback. That's where it's going to be tricky. Todd Monken talked about how he's giving Deshaun Watson a clean slate here.
Well, he's been great. I mean, I think everybody would say it. I'm all for a clean slate. I want the best for every player that we have, every coach. I want the best for anybody in this world to have a great life. I think it's really cool that he still has an opportunity with a change, right, to showcase his ability, see where he's at. I'm all for it.
He's given every opportunity. He'll probably be the week one starter. But what are your expectations? He still is a guy who hasn't looked good in a long time because he hasn't been able to play, but also just, especially off the field, hasn't looked good for a long time. But on the field, I mean, it's the biggest waste of an NFL contract in history. I can't think of a bigger one. If you go back and look before they had the draft, the salary slots for the draft picks. I know quarterbacks back then used to get big ones. Jamarcus Russell got a big one. Sam Bradford got a big. Matthew Stafford, his age, well, who's fine. But I'm saying I can't think of another situation where this much money was wasted on, let alone any player, but a quarterback. Here is also him talking about Todd Monken talking about Deshaun Watson's athleticism.
Well, I shouldn't say surprised. I think more people would be surprised. Deshaun's athleticism shows up. Obviously, he's had that, but he's had his injuries that have set him back. So, but that's been, I wouldn't say a surprise, but it's exciting to see. It's a weapon for him. It's one of his superpowers is athleticism. And I think Shedeur's come miles in terms of his progressions, getting the ball out, his understanding of concepts. I think he's really, really come a long way.
And this is where I think the Browns are making a mistake. Because I don't think the 2027 starter, week one for the Cleveland Browns, is currently on this roster. I don't think it's I don't think it's there. I think, like I say, Watson does great, goes somewhere else, does poorly. Browns just cut ties with him. Shedeur, I don't think he's the number one quarterback. I'd like to see him get some more starts in there and get some more reps, but I don't think he's the answer. Dylan Gabriel's clearly not the answer. I don't think next year's starting quarterback is on the roster. And so if it's not on the roster, and I'm not saying, look, Browns fans, you guys have been tanking for years. Sometimes on purpose, sometimes not. But the best scenario for the Browns is to end up with a top 5 draft pick. Because I think that's where they'll find their next starting quarterback. Will be in there. Now, the offensive line has improved. You have better weapons at receiver coming into this year. Quinshon Judkins being healthy was huge. He looked fantastic until he got hurt last year. It's a question of when he'll get back to start playing again. He got hurt late last season, so we'll see about him. But Quinshon, though, if he can be healthy, and with that improved offensive line, look, they made some wholesale changes there, and credit to them for the draft. They had another really good draft this year, so the things are in place for the Browns to be successful. But it can't happen without solid quarterback play. And by solid, I mean just game manager. Doesn't have to go out there and win the games, just don't lose them. And the last time I saw Deshaun Watson, he wasn't that impressive. He's aged. So we'll see about that. Rookie receivers are the ones they're going to count on too. I know Jerry Jeudy's there, but Jerry Jeudy's has had a case of the drops ever since he got to Cleveland. So, all right, folks, that's it for me on this Browns Daily Blitz. Follow me on Twitter @ThatHappens. Lots more to talk about. Past OTAs now is starting getting more of the stuff, get ready for the regular season and the preseason, I guess, first, then the regular season. We'll do all that. Keep in mind, go to FanStream Sports for all the great programming we have. We have tons of new stuff popping up every single day. So this has been the Browns Blitz on FanStream Sports.